Hello, hi. We are back. Woo, I've been over here fighting. um, it's all kind of stuff's been going on over here on this computer. I've been ready to punch it in the face, but we figured it out, and we are here, and that is all that really matters. All right. Yep. Yep. All right. Let's get us up and ready and prepared. We don't need that. I hope y'all are having a. Please leave me alone. Get away from me. Um, let's see what else. The water company's out checking stuffs today. Got my man out there working. Maybe I should have left some snacks and stuff for him too. All right. So today's Thursday. So it is Sex Tech Thursday, which means we are discussing the future of sexual technology. And today specifically, we're going to be talking about eco-sexuality. Eco-sexuality, of course, has gone through its versions as well. So we'll talk about a little bit about what that's going to look like, what it is, who's practicing it, and also introduce you to the fact that you likely already practice eco-sexuality or want to. Okay. So ecosexuality is essentially the relationship between sex and nature. Okay. It is about treating the earth as a part of your romantic relationship or even as a romantic or sexual partner, which is kind of like the mixture of eroticism and environmentalism, from what I'm understanding. So it's not like, just hugging trees, but it is building an intimate relationship with nature and developing a sensual and erotic relationship with nature. So it's a little bit more than, just the what you think about environmentalists. It has a little bit more to that. Which of course we love. Anything that has to do, and again, there is likely already people, and you as well, as we get on to talking about it today, that already understand this process. If you understand grounding, going outside in the rain, letting the rain hit your bare skin, if you've went out to soak up the sun, if you tan in the sun, if you use the water to relax you, all of those things are ways in which you already connect to nature. But there is also an erotic element to some of the ways that you connect to nature. So it just depends on, again, we're talking about an exchange of energy, and depending on how you want to use that exchange of energy and who you want to share that energy with. People who practice ecosexuality want to exchange that energy with the earth. And so some of the ways they do that is by considering earth like their partner. They consider it a relationship, a sensual relationship, and they would even consider the planet their lover in some senses. So ecosexuals are people who swim naked in the ocean. They have sex and make love under the stars, and have sex outside in the woods. And also people who use eco-friendly intimacy products would be considered an ecosexual. Okay. You just learned something. I know you did. But that movement is about to get a supercharge when you throw in actual technology. So that is, of course, the introduction into an ecosexual. An ecosexual is someone who just is just fine with including nature into their sexual experience. But now, with that is the first iteration of what they call ecosexuality, but ecosexuality 2.0 of course develops and uses more of technology into that process. So you're talking about virtual reality, we're talking about haptic um uh come on, I could do this. What's the word I'm looking for? Haptic experiences. We're talking about biofeedback and things like that. And so all of these things are the next wave of ecosexuality. So let's just kind of get into a few of them. Okay, let's talk about a little bit of what that's going to look like in the future. So if you were a let's have sex under the stars person, you might be looking at what is that going to look like in the future, or what is the evolution of being an ecosexual. You're in the right place. I got you. Okay. So firstly, of course, is going to be what's called immersive eco-erotic virtual reality. So we've been talking a little bit about this already for Sex Tech Thursday, but it's a full sensory virtual reality experience where you can feel the grass under your back, the ocean breeze on your skin if you're on the beach, or a warm body made of starlight right next to you. Okay, so it completely immerses the senses and the body into this virtual reality experience. So you're not just talking about your sight, which is usually how virtual reality started. The beginning of it is just you being able to see into a different world, but now it is also giving you the ability to feel in a virtual world and control what that feels like. And you're even getting a taste of that in movie theaters and things now. They have the chairs that move, and sometimes you can get a spray. Theme parks you have been using haptic and sensory development to increase the experience of the rides for a very long time. So you get in the ride, it falls over, it sprays you with water, the gorilla comes out and yells at you and scares you, and then it goes upside down and water rushes in through this little space, and you get the wind and you can smell the smoke, and they use all of those experiences to help you immerse into the scene. And now that's actually moving over into sexual technology as well. So you're talking about being able to smell the scent of your partner or feel the heat of someone else. You're able to catch the breeze through your skin. You're able to hear the rumble of a train through your vest, and all of these type of things are just different ways to activate those senses, but allowing you to use that energy in a sexual manner versus just like a video game or any other type of play that you would engage in. So it definitely has the ability to grow. You're definitely looking at the ability to grow and to take that experience to the next level. Right now, I don't know. That's exciting to me. I still have not. I've been waiting on someone to come in and tell me if they have experienced eroticism in virtual reality or have done the virtual reality sex. If anybody wants to let me try. If you got a machine and you got a program and you want to send it to me, I will absolutely try it. I would love to, but I do want to know, like, if anyone's tried it, like, what's it like? What was your experience? Did you enjoy it? All those types of things. So just putting that back out there, that if you have not heard my plea, please tell me what it's like to have an immersive erotic experience. I would love to hear the details. So that's what you're looking at. And then you're also, when you're talking about multi-sensory haptics, you're talking about the scent mimicking a natural environment. So, say you're in the jungle, the scent can mimic a jungle. If you're in a garden, the scent can give you that garden feel. You're talking about being able to feel the grass or feel rocks under your feet. You're talking about being able to catch a breeze onto your skin, onto your neck, all those type of things that will tell your nervous system that all this stuff really is happening. Like, even though we know that it's not happening, like when you immerse so many of the senses into that experience, it's very difficult for the brain to understand that that's not what's really happening. So it really can make that experience super immersive, right? All right. And also, so let's talk about biofeedback. And so, biofeedback is a way to be able to share your energy with living plants. So, these are what's considered a biofeedback pleasure garden. Okay. And so, I looked it up and come on, let's go. Let's go on a little journey. Oh, I'm probably gonna have to ask it to share it again. Okay, we'll do that. So no worries. Setting for you. Nope, that's not the right button. No, that has to be it. Oh, I just had to download something new, so I've never seen that before in my life. Is it this one? No. Okay, hold on. Maybe I need to re. I'm just gonna take it off. That's my camera. I see that one. Um, Oh, okay, there's that. And then it's supposed to be, I know that it's you, so I'm just going to take you out and I'll put you back in. Again, I've been fighting with this thing. Ooh, okay. Da da da. You, and then we will share you. Where does that come from? Okay. Okay. That is what I wanted. I don't know why it looks like that, but that is what I want. Okay, now why would you be doing that? Why do you need to behave in that manner? Okay, let's try it again. I don't know. Yeah. Okay, hold on. We gonna figure it out. I don't know how, but we will. What's this? Okay, that's not it, but also I don't think I need that in there. So can I take that out? Um, so this is, let me try. Can I do this? Allow. Ah, this is the box I was looking for. I don't know what all the other stuff was. Okay. Ah, okay. Now, how do I get all of this? Because that is. And what are you still doing back there? You can beat it. What you can do with your unuseful self. Yes. take that off. All right. So let's talk about biofeedback gardens. So a biofeedback garden, essentially what it does is it connects you to living plants. Oh, this is gonna be stupid, ain't it? Where do I want to put it above? Ah. Check me. I have been wanting to do that forever. Not me just figuring out. Oh man, I hope that was in the new, because it just did just update and made me do a whole bunch of stuff because I have not been able to do that and I really wanted to. All right, so essentially, what a biofeedback garden. So this is from the National Institute, the National Library of Medicine. I do a lot of work with these. I read a lot of papers from them. Um, And so essentially what they're doing, this of course this is not for sexuality, but what happens is you can link you can use haptics to link living animals, living plants with a person, and the plants can move and change based on um the feedback they receive from people, which is crazy. Um, and so and with the feedback that the plant gets, it releases what the person needs to help improve mood and all types of crazy. I love it. I love it. I love it. But how is this being used for sexuality? Okay. So they are trying to um, figure out how to move the this is another paper. And let me just read the contents. Anxiety is a common health issue that can occur throughout one's existence. In this pilot study, we explore an alternative technique to regulate it, biofeedback. In long-term objective, it is to offer an ecological device that could help people cope with anxiety by exposing their inner state in a comprehensive manner. We propose a first iteration of this device, Inner Flower, that uses heart rate to adapt a breathing guide to the user, and we investigate its efficiency and usability. Traditionally, such device requires users' full attention. We propose an ambient modality during which the device operates in the peripheral vision. Besides comparing ambient and focus conditions, we also compared the biofeedback with a sham feedback fixed breathing guide. We found that the focus group demonstrated higher relaxation and performance on a cognitive task. However, there was no noticeable effect of the ambient feedback, and the biofeedback condition did not yield any significant difference when compared to the sham feedback. These results, while promising, highlight the pitfalls of any research related to biofeedback where it is difficult to fully comprehend the underlying mechanisms of such a technique. Okay? So they're literally trying to link a device that you don't have to fully be immersed in. You don't have to focus so much on to get the benefits of what the biofeedback is transmitting. So that is going to be amazing for being able to expose people to different types of sexuality, especially when you talk about the growing number of people who are now reconnecting with the earth and reconnecting with the spaces that they're in, and understanding the power of grounding, understanding the power of gardens and smelling flowers and creating food and all these different things that, or sitting outside and enjoying the wind rustling through the leaves, or the butterflies or the hummingbirds. And so we absolutely understand the connection. We just have not identified all the ways that it can be used sexually, but they have identified some, and so that's what we're going to be talking about. The In the biofeedback loop, we're talking about sex toys and wearable devices that are connected to living plants that respond to your arousal by lighting up, releasing scent, or changing shape. That's what they're trying to build. And so, in that environment, your pleasure literally nurtures the environment. So, the more joy you experience, the more the plant or the living organisms thrive. And so, I think that is a dope circle of life. That if our existence could help plants thrive versus what our existence does now and makes it more difficult for them to thrive, that would be a great turn of events, and it would be a step in the right direction on us being able to use the planet in the way that it was intended. Right now, we are pillaging and tearing it up and tearing holes in the ozone and doing all kinds of stuff that is not helping our environment to thrive. Another way that we can engage in eco-sexuality is sustainable sex tech manufacturing. So, of course, one of the first ways is fully biodegradable sex toys made of plant-based biopolymers. So sex toys actually have a really long shelf life and have to be discarded by a special product, by a special system. Like you are not supposed to just throw your sex toys away when they're done. You're actually, because they have lithium batteries in them. And again, the material is usually not biodegradable, so it's harmful to the planet to do that. If you are, let me pull them up. Hold on. Revibe. That was so getting you can also get it with Eden's Fantasies, but sex toy recycling is you can Google whoever you need. There may be someone in your area. But there are definitely ways to that you are supposed to be getting rid of those toys that are ethically sourced and sustainable ways to do that. That most people don't know that that's what you're supposed to do. So again, you're not just supposed to be throwing your old vibrators in the trash. You can Google a recycling program, a sex toy recycling program, and find programs that will send you a packet. You put it in there and go on about your business. And we can help preserve the little bit of earth that we have left because we'll just keep on turning it and tearing it up. But yes, please make sure that you are discarding of your sex toys responsibly. Solar powered pleasure devices that charge from the sun. Wouldn't that be amazing if the energy that was used for your pleasure was actually generated by sunlight and by the sun's rays? You could just sit it up on the counter and put it on the windowsill before you go to work, come home, take care of your business, and just leave it like that instead of actually using energy. Let's see, are there already solar powered sex toys? Let's see. I'm sure there are. This is in 2010. Oh, hold on. Because I'll probably get in trouble for that. That's not what I was trying to show. Uh, um. Okay. I can go back. Okay. So the micro kitty is not just a sex toy that feels good. It's a sex toy to feel good about. So this is a toy that is solar powered. I cannot show it to you. um, but world's first solar powered vibrator. I want to show you so bad, but I know that it's um, one of the requirements for Twitch is that I cannot show you toys. But I also think it's dope that this is the name of it. This is the world's first solar powered vibrator and from their site, and this is actually, I believe it's a .org. Yeah, it's a .org site. That doesn't mean that it's a, any more or less, but I'm just saying that, I didn't make it up. I didn't make this up. So, ooh, I'm hungry and I got some chicken in there to take out to cook. I'm gonna cook when I get out for here for lunch, make something else for dinner. My sugar muffins ended up working all night, so he's in there asleep. Okay, okay, okay. I know I probably shouldn't be eating, but I really am hungry, so. Okay. So solar powered pleasure devices. Are there more than just that one? That was the first one in 2010. Um, yeah. What if I wanted to buy them? How about that? I bet it'll tell me that. Let's go to shopping. I don't see them in here. I don't see them in here. So that means that they didn't stand the test of time. Or it just didn't get the investments that it needed. But I don't see. Hold on. I don't see any solar powered vibrators in here. Ooh, they have a transparent flashlight. I bet that's interesting. I mean, more popcorn is making it on the ground than in my mouth. No, I want to see this though. Y'all can't see, but it's a transparent flashlight. That's kind of cool looking though, and I want to see. Somebody using it. Okay, okay. That's super interesting. I want to see somebody using it. Um, Other ways that you can do sustainable sex tech manufacturing are using lubes that can double as a skin safe moisturizer and lubes that are not toxic to waterways. Sometimes some of the lubrications and lotions and things that we put on our bodies can be very harmful to the ecosystem once it enters the waterways or gets in the soil and all those things. So it would be dope um, to have options that weren't going to cause harm on the back end. Um, so yeah, yeah, okay, okay. So another way is AI Earth lovers. So if you are a person that does want to have a romantic or an intimate relationship that includes more of the earth. They have AI companions that are designed with eco activist personalities, and they incorporate environmental consciousness into erotic play. So, if you that's a great way to meld those two worlds, is to have an AI generated um, eco activist that is in an erotic situation. Oh, that sounds hot. So I think that that's dope too. And it also has like gamified erotic quests where you can meet sexual pleasure milestones and unlock real world environmental donations or tree planting initiatives. So if you were to um, play this game and reach certain milestones, there are eco bonuses, real world eco bonuses that take place. So say, there are people that make shoes and give a pair of shoes. It would be something like that. So as you reach certain milestones, they plant a tree or they spread some seeds somewhere, or all kinds of initiatives or environmental initiatives that you can contribute to by highlighting and implementing pleasure into your gaming systems. So, or your gamification. I love gamification. As a kid who grew up in the beginning of video games, like I was the first generation that was able to plug up something in the TV and play video games. I think gamification is a great way to help us learn and to build, to use a familiar process to help us to learn about our bodies and to do good things in the world with a process that we already understand. So, love gamification. And, we're just naturally competitive, especially if you're American. I know everybody's not American, but we are terrible at being competitive. And so, we do what we have to do. If it's gamification, it's gamification. We love what we love. So, um, that is like, again, it's a great way to spread the knowledge and to be able to share an intimate relationship with nature while also pretty much getting your rocks off. You do, hey, I mean, they're your rocks. You do what you want to do with them. So I think that's a dope transition for. I mean, you can literally, how people used to be like, oh, I sponsored a child over somewhere. You can literally sponsor a tree or sponsor a garden by masturbating. Like that would be dope. It would be dope. I don't care. It would be. I love the concept of that, for sure. What else? What else? Oh, eco intimacy retreats. So we're talking about people that are gathered together that have the same core values and creating tech enabled outdoor pleasure domes that integrate privacy glass, temperature control, and insect safe zones. And it's can all like those domes can be powered by renewable energy. So you're talking about going on a retreat to a dome that has been um, specifically curated to create an intimate scene for everyone that is inside that dome. And so when you're talking about privacy glasses and you're talking about temperature control and using that as a form of, we're still talking about sensory play and using that to completely immerse the senses into this bubble. And like you literally can feel like you're going into a whole different world that you can release and let go. And then once you walk out, you can go back into the real world refreshed and renewed and, just having that experience where it feels like you literally may have went to another planet or you are completely immersed in a whole nother scene. So love that. Love the idea of that for sure. Um, and it can also combine nature immersion with ethical sex tech for an eco-lux erotic getaway. Okay, so I said, what is an eco-lux erotic getaway? Hold on, let me show you. Man, I could really go for some Krispy Kreme. some gizzards. I want some gizzards. Okay, okay. Let me share. So it's actually a thing. You can go to a luxury spa that is that is centered around eco erotic situations. So it's a romantic spa in the Arbuckle Mountains that is allows you to find your peace in. I don't know why that's taking so long. Okay, that's what I was saying. Why is that? Why are you doing all that? Again, I do not know. I'm not. I don't know these people. I'm not telling you to go visit none of them. None of them have invited me to their place to let you know that it's a good place to go. So, um, but we can look at it together. This is both going to be new information for the both of us. Okay. Romantic eco-friendly resorts in Barbados for couples. I love Barbados. I got married there. It was an amazing experience. That is that luxurious as it is sustainable. Barbados is waiting to sweep you off your feet. This sun-kissed island offers a captivating blend of eco-friendly luxury. When you're planning a honeymoon, ooh, maybe I'll do this for my 10. Oh, I have stayed at one of these. I don't know if that's what they call it. Um, I don't know if that's what they call it. Okay, let me look at my memory so I can see. I do not know the name though, but I do know that it'll be back at the because Bruce took me the very first year that we were together. Um, we went to Hawaii. This was before they asked us to stop coming. So, um, please don't not too much. Okay, where was this at? Pahoa. Okay, let's see if they have uh I don't know what it was called. Was this it? Let me look. Let me look. Okay, I need to look at it to tell you. Again, don't if this is the place, I can give you um leave me alone. Right, cuz you're doing too much. I don't understand. But again, I did just have to like reload this. I have a iMac too, so like it is is it this one? It is. I think it is this one. Hold on. I think it is. I think this is where I was. Maybe no. Hold on. Maybe not. We didn't do a lot. I want to see the like we weren't in the mix. As a black traveler, we don't really go where they go. You know what I mean? You don't always know if it's even safe to do that. But the place where we stayed, is it this one? It's this one. I think this is the one. Hold on, I'm almost sure. Let me see. If I stayed a self-sustainable community that nurtures spiritual growth. I believe this is the place. Okay, hold on. Let me keep looking. I need to see some pictures, but I'm yep, we it is. Okay. So, I did stay here. This place was amazing. I loved every bit of it. Okay, where can I go to find the photos? But it was a great place. My husband had stayed there already. He had been there once before, and so he took me. I think he was there. I'm not sure if it was with the military or not, but I want to say that it was. He might have just went on his own. I don't know. But yep, because I went to this. I would go watch the sunrise here. This is where we were. Um, I would love to show you some photos. I went there. I absolutely did. I went there. It was amazing. I took a picture right here, and but I did not do that. I did not. We know. No, no, no. I did not do that. We didn't do this. I really wanted to do this. We thought we had time, but we didn't. So we did not get to do this one. But we said we were going to go back when they said we can come back. But if they say we can't come back, then I'm fine with that too. Did this, went here, saw the green sand beach. I saw the black sand beach. I got a picture of my feet in the black sand beach. So that was cool. Um, ooh, I don't know that we did that. I definitely didn't do that. Yeah, we went here. Clothing optional beaches. I do remember that. But no, it was okay. So if you do go, this place was amazing. As far as like sustainable, it was a very small footprint. We stayed in. They have like little huts that are just it's a hut. There are geckos like running around in there, and they're all over the place. And you're just in a room like this. um, but they have a place where they have a big kitchen and you can go eat the food that they grow there. They have what else? What else? Um, they have yeah. It was a good place. It was a good place to hang out. Again, they grow their own food. There's a place on site for you to go meditate if you want to. Um, there isn't like bathrooms. I mean, there is bathrooms. You can walk over to the bathrooms, and it's done in the water. Like they harvest their water and all those good things. Like it was a great place. I had a really good time. And like I can't. It doesn't have pictures on here. I definitely wish that there were more because I'll have to show you, but we loved it. It was a great experience. Um, it was very peaceful. Like we heard the bullfrogs at night. There is not a lot of there are no like snakes or stuff like that. So that felt good to be able to, or animals that can like take you out for being in the woods. So it was kind of okay. Like it felt good to go on adventures. I don't remember the mosquitoes being that bad. Um, Mosquitoes weren't that bad. I do have a story about the ants, but I'm not gonna tell you that story. But also, then people said don't come back over there. So although this place is great, don't go until they say y'all can come back because we are over there robbing them of their resources. We're making it very difficult for the natives to be able to afford things, and I absolutely understand why they said like stop coming here. So everything we do, we make it so somebody gets harmed, even for the things that are supposed to be fun for us. It causes harm to other people, and we can't be a part of that. I know you want to, but just don't. Okay. But when it do open back up, it was a great place. It felt very peaceful, very I don't know how to say, like, I don't want to say sexy, but it was very just like very serene, very very beautiful place. Um, it was quiet. Like you just go to your little hut and it's got a screen up and you just lay there and you can listen to all the animals and the frogs was talking to each other and all the locusts was talking to each other and it was just like really really cool. Um, a really cool place. So definitely yeah. So that is cool to know that that exists. That um eco intimacy retreats and I like it's gonna look like biodome in the future. All right, well that would be so cool though if you could like think about if I came to your city and I had a pop-up bubble dome and in that dome everybody can see out but nobody can see in. Everybody can see out but nobody can see in and you're in there. We're inside the dome having the time of our life. I mean, it is getting crazy in there. But all the people outside just see is a pop up dome. That would be so hot. Like that would be so hot. It would be so hot. Um, I like the idea of that. Hold on. Hey, maybe I could do that in the future. That would be freaking cool. Like that would be really freaking cool. Like a pop up party. Hmm. Look, I'm overthinking. My mind is like, because I'm like, I mean, I'm gonna have some money at some point. hmm I'm gonna have to go ahead and put that on the list. Look, let me put that on my notepad right quick. Hold on. I feel like that needs a mental note for sure. Where's my search? Big ideas. Hmm. Yeah, look, let's just go ahead and put that on there. Let's go. Yep. Okay, okay, okay. I like the idea of that. Like, what else would I put in there? Like, I think it would feed that voyeuristic itch that people have without without anyone being harmed. Hello, Niran J. Yeah, like so I'm thinking about it because you know in places in countries where in Amsterdam in the red light district they put all the people up on the wall, but you got to come in to see the stuff. Like, what if in those, like, what if in those rooms the glass was like some kind of biofeedback glass? Ooh, what if it was like some kind of biofeedback glass? And again, the people inside can see out, but the people outside can't see in. But they can see the reactions of the people based on like the colors of the glass or some kind of okay, it's getting good, it's getting good, it's getting good. Oh, listen, don't let me get no money. Give me the hope. Give me the hope. I don't get no money because I'm gonna be nuts. Like I love the idea of that. Sure. Uh, what's your question? I will be happy to answer it. Mm. Look, I'm gonna have to save that. It's called Kerpal Meditation and Ecological Center. That's the place that we were. Man, that was such a good time. Like I had never been to Hawaii before, and I was just in awe. There are no black people there. Don't let them tell you that there is. There's not. That's why they got slurs for us. Okay, my girlfriend doesn't like to spice things up. She's vanilla. I hate to say it, but she is. Okay, okay. So what's your question? Um, I think I know where it's going, but I want to make sure before I just start rambling. But just give me a little bit more. And there are a lot of people who are vanilla. Um, there's usually something behind not being curious about sex and sexuality. It's it's one of the things. Ooh, okay. During sex, it's just plain sex for her. No foreplay, no nothing. Just standard sex and over. Okay. Yeah, I get that. And thank you for showing up too, and asking and talking about this. I know that's still probably difficult to do. But you know what? They're never gonna find out that you were here because it's just us. So you can ask me whatever you want. I'm not gonna tell. I promise. You know what I mean? Man, that is a hard. It's a tough existence. It's a tough thing to overcome. It can be done, but um, it definitely requires a lot of communication. But just ask me what you want to ask me, and we'll see what we can do. I'll give you the best that I have. Okay. Um. Okay. I've had a lot of relationships, but this is the first one where this is happening. I'm just confused. Okay. I feel like that is absolutely normal and absolutely warranted to be like, hey, what's going on here? So here's the thing. Um, everybody is made up of a building block of their experiences. Okay. You stand in front of me on the internet as a person who has built who you are based on the experiences that you've had and the ways in which you've had to survive those experiences. There are some people who those experiences have caused a deeper lash in them. And again, not saying it's nothing wrong with just vanilla sex, okay? There's nothing wrong with that. But there should be a healthy amount of curiosity attached to sexual activity. There should be we call it the enthusiastic yes. So the enthusiastic yes is I'm absolutely interested in this. I am curious about it. I can't wait until we do it. I may be nervous about it, but I'm also more excited about it, or I'm more curious about like what is to come. What kind of excitement is on the other side of this? When you run into someone who doesn't have that curiosity, it's usually because it's been dampened in some way by someone. So, not all the time, not all the time. And but in most, I would say from my 10 plus years of doing this, if you keep asking questions, which I'm not asking you to do, it is my job to ask those questions, you can usually find something in there that removes that curiosity, right? That tells you that, it's either religion, it's judgment, it's shame, it's past traumas, it's, social responsibilities. It's all of these things that could put a damper on someone not being curious about intimacy and about sexual activity. So to improve this, and again, it's not saying that it's wrong. If you only want to have vanilla sex and your partner only wants to have vanilla sex, then congratulations, you've beat the game, right? But if you are looking for more, the first thing that I can tell you that is going to help this situation is to create a safe space. And that is not easy to do, but if you do that, if you create that safe space, it will invite the curiosity back into the bedroom, okay? Or it invite the thought of curiosity, because some people believe that they're inherently not supposed to be sexual. Some people are raised, certain religious cults and sects have very specific um, social and religious markers on who you can and can't be. And so some of those tell people that, having sex in certain positions is demonic and you shouldn't do that. So you're going to be fighting against something that is a part of the building block of who they are. And so the most important thing that you can do is create a safe space. And creating that safe space has nothing to do with sexual activity. It has everything to do with knowing your partner, learning your partner, and figuring out ways to help them open that up. It takes a lot of care, the same way that you would. No, 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 no. Said he said, or I don't know if you're he, but that's a great observation. Now I feel really dumb to ask that. Absolutely not. You're not dumb for asking that, because how would you know? Like, how would you know? You're not thinking of, those things. You just know that you're in a situation and you don't know where it's coming from. This is a foreign thing for you and you're not understanding where it's coming from. That is completely normal. Okay, that is completely normal. So it's no, don't feel bad for not knowing or picking up on what that is, because that you wouldn't know that. It's not. No one's would have. When is the last time you encountered a sex educator? Okay, so there is no one that would have made that known to you. So don't feel bad, but it has a lot to do with people feeling safe. And again, I say that as someone who's been doing this for quite a while. Creating safe spaces opens people up to that, because many times there are people, and I don't know how old you are or any of that, and you don't have to tell me, that's not what I'm saying, but there is a thing on TikTok right now of a woman who has fallen in love with her psychiatrist, okay? And so those, because people can create a safe space, some people feel more sexual when you create a safe space. Actually, all people feel more sexual when you create a safe space. And sometimes that space is created even when it is not a sexual relationship. So if you come to me and you feel comfortable talking about sex and you feel comfortable talking about what's going on with your body, and then your body tells you, oh man, like it feels really good to be able to talk to this, she must really like me. that those two things, it happens because you have opened that safe space up, but those two things are not on the same pathway. So it actually has nothing to do with sexuality or creating a relationship. Opening up and creating that safe space for anyone can bring that curiosity back into it. So the second thing I would say is don't pressure her. Don't compare her. Don't say, I've been in a lot of relationships. You're the only person that's like this, because you're going to learn things from this relationship that are going to prepare you for love and intimacy in the future. So don't pressure her. Don't, just be open. Just, you can share the things that interest you. You can talk about the things that interest you and how you got into them, things like that. If you find that there's something that they are interested in, then you can lean into that and find ways to explore that. And it may be a very slow process, but if you create that space, I do believe that you can bring the curiosity back into it. I hope that that makes sense. Because it was, I'd be all over the place, but I hope that made sense for you. So it's not a, okay, yeah, don't do that for sure. But like, you did good. You stumbled upon a place where you can get this thing addressed and answered, and hopefully to create an environment that makes them want to know more, want to experience touch, experience sensory play, experience true intimacy, because true intimacy does require vulnerability on both parts. It requires vulnerability on both parts. And it's sometimes really difficult for people to get to that part of their lives. So if that is something that your partner might be struggling with, absolutely therapy. And again, therapy is not something that is meant to say that something's wrong with you or anything like that. Therapy is to help you see the perspectives of other people. You don't know what other people know until you talk to someone else who knows. So a therapist just goes in your mind and it takes all of your clothes that you've washed, right? All of your experiences, it takes all of those clothes and throws them on the bed. And then it helps you to sort. How do you want to sort these clothes? Do you want jeans over here? Do you want pants over here? Do you want business shirts here? Do you want undershirts here? And it just helps you to sort through the information. Well, this is how other people do it. Maybe if you did it this way, it wouldn't be so difficult. If you try it and you don't like it, okay, well, let's talk about ways that other people do this. And then why is this important? And all of those things. So it may be a necessity for some therapy. And if I'm being honest, we all need therapy. Everyone who's had to survive on this planet needs therapy. All the people. Everybody. So, because some of the things, some of the coats that we've put on, some of those social coats that we have put on were not our coats. They were not our coats to wear. We not even hot. We just put on the coat because people told us to put the coat on. And so shedding those coats and finding out who you really are and what you really want is a very difficult process. And you need a guide through that process. And the therapist is a guide through that process. Now, you can do it on your own if you are very aware of who you are, but it's even sometimes knowing what's wrong with you doesn't fix what's wrong with you. So it's just good to have another pair of ears, someone else to talk to and talk it through with, so that, you don't feel like you're just swimming in circles. So a little bit of therapy can go a long way. And again, once you have that conversation or open it up for that conversation to be had, the thing about becoming a better person sexually is that it bleeds over into other parts of your life. So if that person can realize and understand safety in a sexual sense, they may also understand safety outside of that. And they can use the tools that they created to be safe in this arena to use to be safe over here. So being more sexually aware and sexually responsible with your body and yourself and your mood and your feelings. um I'm just scared she might get too emotional about it, because she is really emotional. Absolutely. It So listen, any time that you have to look at yourself, it can be difficult. It can be emotional. To have I do think it's important for you to have the conversation. Have that conversation going into it, knowing that you are not here to be malicious. You are not there to talk about all the things that she doesn't do. You don't do this and you don't kiss me. None of that has a place there. If you go into that conversation being like, I am, I want you to have more of a curiosity around this. What can we do to help build that? I want you to be more curious about intimacy. I want you to be more curious about sexuality. I want to be sure that we are both consenting, because are sometimes people can feel backed into intimacy and they're not really there or don't truly want to experience it, but they think they're supposed to because blah blah blah. Yeah, okay. I want that conversation because I want to know her better. It's not about things she doesn't do. Exactly, exactly. So it really feels like you're on the right track of having the conversation. You just needed the piece, the why of why this may be happening. Okay, and your partner may need the why as well. Neither one of you may know. They may not even know. And so therapy can get to the bottom of that. But when we talk about, as a sex educator, when I'm talking about conversations about consent or conversations about healthy sexual interactions, we are talking about two people who are enthusiastically interested in exploring this space. So yes, there are no's. There are always going to be no's when two people are involved, but those no's usually align, right? Okay, I understand you don't want to do this, and I don't want to do that, so on and so forth. But when it feels restrictive, that can start causing issues in the way that you two connect. So yes, you definitely want to know better, but also the conversation about like why it's happening is a conversation that your partner is gonna have to have. You you won't you won't have, how do I say this? You can't speculate on what it is. You can just say, I want you to be more interested in these things. But if you don't, that's fine. But I would, I'm concerned that you don't have a healthy curiosity of intimacy, and I know that that has to make you feel um, a type of way. And I say that because, again, I've done this for a couple of years, and I know as the person on the other side of that, it feels like they don't want you. It can feel like rejection, even though you know that it has nothing to do with you personally. Like your partner is not mad at you or anything like that. But it can still feel like rejection you're um if it's a hard no for some things that are important to you. And so I want to make space for that as well, that there are, even though this is an issue that with your partner, that is something that you're sharing together. Both of you are experiencing it. You're experiencing it a very different way than they're experiencing it, but because you are a locked in partner, which shout out to you, um you are also experiencing the ramifications of the whatever's going on. So it is a it's a conversation about connection. It's a conversation about, I want the best for you. I want for us to share in this space together, and I want us to both feel the same way um, about the way we move through intimacy. And sometimes it is a disconnection. People even go outside of their bodies when it comes to being connected. I've known plenty of people who have been like, I suck toes, I eat ass, I do this, but I ain't kissing nobody. Like, that is, people just have all these different modifications on how they experience intimacy. But, you know, you want to meet your partner where they are, but you also want to make space for them to get where you are. So I think you're doing the right thing. I think you're on the right track of opening that up for them, not letting it feel like pressure, but also wanting to experience more intimacy with your partner. So maybe you can just start with one thing, like, can we cuddle after? Just before, or can we cuddle before? Can we set a time limit on cuddling? Sometimes people need to have a clear outline of what's going to happen before they can participate. Some people have a lot of anxiety around different activities and what's going to happen. So creating structured guidelines, like putting the little bubbles in the bowling alley in the gutter, can help them to ease the transition down the stretch. If they know what's going on and they have an idea of the process and the plan, and they know that nothing's going to be sprung on them that they don't want, then maybe we can open that space up for more curiosity. So just start with little things like that. um Negotiating more. What would you be comfortable with? Do you want to just, can we hold hands for a little while? Because it is also important that you do need more. Your feelings are also a part of this process, and so it is important that you are, as a couple, that you are meeting each other where you can, and leave it open for it to grow. So a lot of the things that happens with when couples are connected is that one person in that couple will notice that the other partner is not there yet, and they will push for, hey, why aren't you eating better? Why aren't you drinking more water? I'm drinking more water, why are you? And that doesn't always help to grow the couple. you the best thing to do is for you to keep doing what you're supposed to be doing, and then they can kind of notice, and let you be the guide, let your existence be the guide on, you know I the most important thing for me is creating a safe space for you. If I'm doing that, your partner's going to say, dang, like, he really is creating this space for me. I do feel a little more comfortable, holding hands, or, just letting our feet touch, or whatever it could be, to growing into something else. Don't expect the full thing. I saw a lady that was her and her partner were going to couples therapy, and her request was 30 minutes a day. And so the therapist said, well, let's start with 30 minutes a week. And she was livid. Like, I need more than that. I don't feel like that's fair, and, all these things. But when you think about the process of making things work, it is not going to be perfect when you start. So 30 minutes a week is a really good start if you're getting no minutes at all. I know it may not be enough for you, but you can negotiate more if you can start with the 30 minutes. So just leave that space open to let it grow. That you're not going to get everything that you want, as soon as it happens. And another little, just the last little part, okay? Last little part. Don't get too excited, okay? Don't get too excited. If your partner does decide, like, okay, yeah, I agree to, let's snuggle for 10 minutes after we are done. Make sure you're sticking to the schedule. Don't overdo it. Don't try to do nothing else. Don't try to slide an additional thing in. Just ride it out, let it go, let them introduce more things, or let them give you the signals to introduce more things. It requires you being in tune with your partner, reading body signals. Are they enjoying this? Is this really something that they are agreeing to? And don't take it, if it's hard for your partner, don't take it personally. Again, you are asking them to rewire their brain. But Just don't get too excited, okay? Don't get too excited, and let it, again, let it grow. I know that first little, like, ooh, she let me kiss her neck. Hold on. But just, keep it cool, and just let it ride. And that is how you build that safety, is letting it happen and not applying pressure, not feeling like, oh, okay, well, yesterday you did this, so today let's try this. Like, no. just let it go. Let it go. Okay? Thank you. That was a really, really good question. A really good question. So thank you for for asking. If you got any other ones, like, if so I do this for this so that you all have an outlet to be able to do this, because this is going to make your relationship better. It is going to make you and your partner more connected, and that's what we want, right? If we're promoting relationships, friendships, ships, we want to figure out how to make those ships work, make them float, make them stay together, make them do what they got to do. So please ask me your questions. Have your friends, if you got people who need this as well, tell them to show up. This is what I want to do. So that's why this space exists, and I have to fight a lot to make to make it exist. I'm the only one. It's nobody else on Twitch, as far as I know, that's teaching sex education. It's just me. Two adults. I don't know what the people are doing to kids. I have no idea what's going on over there. Hopefully they're all blocked. I tried to do as much as I could on my page to make sure that, children don't find me. But, they are children. But even if they do find me, I don't feel, although this is not age appropriate for them, I do not feel like it is too far out of the league of, being utterly disrespectful to children. I don't feel that. So, and it's probably the only reason why I'm still here. Oh, okay. Hey, honestly, I wouldn't have even asked. I wouldn't have even asked, because again, I did all the work to make sure that only adults could get here. But even if you were a kid, that was still a really good question, and it's still something that anyone should know, right? Anyone should know how. I don't feel like, even though it was a question about sex, your question wasn't about sex. It was about connecting with your partner. So, but again, I wouldn't have asked. No way. You wouldn't. I don't even want them problems. But yeah, I really hope that that helps, and I would love to hear how that goes in the future. So come back, if you want to come back in a month and be like, let me tell you what happened. I would love that. Or if it went terribly, tell me that too, because we all are just learning. Everybody's trying to figure out how to make it work, and that might be the answer. It might not be. But I do hope that it works for you, and I love that you came here on behalf of your relationship. Like, what can we do to make it better? That's how we do. Take that from. People are not right now are not. You are very welcome. You are very welcome. They're not. Everybody hate everybody, talking about the dating pool and all that stuff now. So I love couples who are trying to figure it out. And 22, man, I remember when I was 22. Oh my God, I was not thinking about nobody's feelings. I was in the club upside down. So you. No, I was in college then, so I was still upside down. Yeah. Yep. So, good luck. I hope for the best for you. Yeah, you work in a club? Hold on. Are you a bartender? Because if you're a bartender, we finna have martini talk, because I am sick of these bartenders and these martinis. Oh, okay. I was gonna say, don't listen. Me and my husband were just talking about that. Apparently, I have learned over the weekend to stop ordering martinis at dive bars, because they be disgusted. They are terrible martinis. So, he was like, okay, babe, now you can't order no more martinis from dive bars. Like, oh man. I definitely could not have been. Oh, okay, promotions manager. Okay. Ooh. That's kind of a sweet little gig. Ooh, but hold on, because the promotions manager be thoughts. You, no, you better not be out there being no thotty. Cause I seen janky promoters. I seen it. Nah, I trust you. I trust you. I trust you. Now, I do love me a little me and my husband love us a little strip club. Ooh, we love us a strip club, honey. We try to go when we go places. We always try to find a strip club. Like, where's a strip club around here? I love, yeah. Still, okay, I don't be in the club like I did. Um, yeah, that's what I said. I figured you were just handling the promotions. That's okay. So you young, you probably never heard of janky promoters. Okay, listen, I'm finna. Janky Promoters has Ice Cube and Mike Epps in it, and I think they were trying to get Young Jeezy. They were trying to get Young Jeezy, and so they was handling the promotions. It was definitely put it on your list. Put it on your list. But that's dope though. That's dope. I bet that's yeah. Listen, I know that people be trying to get in the club. They be, hey, friend, how you do? Hey, big head. I know how they be acting. That's why, listen, your girlfriend gonna have to work on her roundhouse. I heard the girls in the club these days too don't be playing no games. Like they be like, I want your man. I want that one. So you gotta listen. You gotta be safe. Be safe. Man, my nephews and stuff, they be in the club. I can't even be in the club. You 22, I got nieces and nephews is 22. They gonna be in there seeing me with my hands on my knees. Yeah, you don't have to explain it. He said, because of my job, a lot of people think I'm a slut because I genuinely know too many girls, but I don't know how to explain. You don't have to explain it to me. Obviously, I already do. Yes, I could see that. I could definitely see that. But that's probably makes you a better promoter. Don't get caught up in it. You still young, but don't let the catching up of those being attached to those girls like that. At least my girlfriend understands, and that's what matters. Absolutely. But don't, that's something that someone who doesn't have any sexual discipline, that would be a situation they would exploit. It's going to make you a better manager, promotions manager, because you do have a girlfriend and you seem, I don't know your business, but it seems like you have some sexual discipline. Um, yeah, so, it's a good job if you do, if, so I used to travel, I used to do all this stuff. I used to be a comic, so I did lots of stuff. I dealt with a lot of managers, a lot of promotional managers. And again, the best ones are the ones who are there to do their work, and that's it. But a lot of people be there for other reasons, and now that's why the people think that about you. Because everybody else be in there putting their weenie on the table. So good on you. That makes me happy. Man, 22. Oh my gosh. I was still in college. I was at Langston when I was 22. Listen, kick it for sure. Make sure you kicking it. You and your girlfriend, make sure y'all living it up. That's why I'm saying, like, you're in the prime right now. Well, not the prime, but you're in your learning stages. So like, this is when you make your mistakes and people expect the mistakes. Okay. This is a really important rule for me. Even when I was single, never ask someone out at my club because it just icks me out. Yeah, you're pretty much dating people at your job. That and everybody knows. Listen, if your auntie can give you any advice, don't ever don't don't date people you work with, because when you leave your house, guess where you got to go? Look at they big bat face ass again. So So don't ever listen. You can always separate your work from your personal relationships. Always, always, always. Because I've never dated anybody I worked with. I don't even want to be here. I don't even want to be here. I didn't come here to be friends. I'm in here because they give me money. That's it. I do not want to be here being in love. I hate y'all. It's cold in here. It stinks. Somebody made tuna. Who burnt the toast? So that's a really, really good rule. Make sure you hold on to it. Because, when them girls are ready to get in the club, they be, you know, showing that fat nappy so they can get in. I heard it's live now, though. That time is definitely over for me. I need a section. I need a seat. I need to be able to sit down the bulk of the time. I don't even need to be. I need to be able to sit down the most of the time. So, okay. So let's talk about the schedule for the rest of the week. It is Thursday, so we only have one other class for this week, and that is going to be Friday, which is tomorrow. We are going to do late night with Coach Katasha, and that's just y'all coming in telling me about all the stuff that's going on in the world. We talk about, all the sex, love, and relationships, what's going on in the news, who's doing what, who's paying out $10 million, who's retiring, all of that good stuff. So come by tomorrow. It is still girls' night, so I will be with my friends, and we will be in here laughing and giggling, so you can stop by if you want. Let me put up the one for next week. We have our schedule for the next week is going to be Monday. We are going to be talking about sex ed with Coach Katasha. So we're going to be talking about Bartholin cysts. If you don't know what a Bartholin cyst is, it's important, especially if you have a vulva. So make sure you tune in. On Tuesday, we're going to be talking about adult vacations, so adults only vacations. We're talking about nude beaches. We're talking about adult resorts, adult cruises, all those types of things where you can do kinky things with other adults, okay? On Wednesday at 2 p.m. Central Standard Time, we have Ask Coach Katasha. So Ask Coach Katasha is when you can come in live and drop your sexual health questions in the chat, and I will be happy to answer them. If you don't want people in your business and you have questions that you are not comfortable putting online or having attached to your username, you can send those questions to expressionofrepression@gmail.com, and I will bring them back to the chat on Wednesday. You can also send those questions to any of my social media accounts, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, whoever. Here's my link tree so you can find whichever is your preferred social media platform. And you can send the questions in there as well, and I'll be happy to bring them back. On Thursday, next Thursday for SexTech Thursday, we're going to be talking about data harvesting and how important it is to protect your data in this new sexual revolution, and how it's being harvested, what they're doing with it, all that good stuff. And then of course Friday is going to be late night with Coach Katasha at 9 p.m. So we look forward to seeing you, to hearing from you. Thank you for stopping by today, for participating. If you do have any additional questions, you can reach me at expressionofrepression@gmail.com or Coach Katasha at expressionofrepression.com. See you tomorrow. Yeah, thank you. I'm really glad to stumble upon this channel. That makes me really happy. So it's every person here, like I've just been one more person, one more person, one more person. I know that I have a product that is desired. I just have to keep working and keep on pushing up under it. And that makes me feel really good. Thank you. I appreciate you for sharing that with me. And I will be back here tomorrow at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time with a glass in my hand because I need this Friday. So y'all be safe.